Hey, what's up guys? Today I got a new video for you guys, and today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic that I thought about, which is my wish list for Sony's PlayStation Studios games and projects that I think they should do and that I think will be cool. And yeah, I just got a few here. If you guys want, you guys can leave your own. And if you guys like what I have in this video and like my wish list, be sure to let me know down in the comments below and leave a like and subscribe. I got way more stuff. But anyways, I'm just going to go over the list of the things that I think they should be doing at Sony that we don't currently quite have yet. So we're going to start with number one right here. At number one for my PlayStation Studios wish list, I have a new AAA first-person shooter franchise. I just feel like we've been missing this for a long time. Ever since Sony stopped caring about the Killzone franchise, which was last seen at the launch of the PS4, and we're already past the launch of the PS5. So as you can see, Sony kind of has forgotten about the whole first-person shooter genre. So I'm hoping we can see a comeback very soon, and I just think, it's something that a lot of people would appreciate and something that we're missing from the first-party output from Sony PlayStation. Like, we need a flagship multiplayer first-person shooter game. Like, I just feel like that's something that they could do. They definitely have the talent and the skill. For example, Guerrilla, they've made first-person shooters before, and FYI, a few years back, Sony expanded Guerrilla with a second team, so they're working on a second project, most likely a first-person shooter due to the hirings. They've been hiring a lot of people that worked on first-person shooters, and Guerrilla used to make Killzone, which was an FPS. So hopefully we see something great from them and something like what I've been asking, because we've been missing it for a while. And yeah. Number two, we need a brand new exploration animated game. And I know that sounds too specific, but I'm basically asking for a Nintendo-esque kind of franchise with a great art style and made to be flagship and good, not an indie mini project with no funding and no marketing that gets forgotten a few days later. I want something flagship, good, quality, and I'm talking about something that people will really talk about and remember, something that people care about. Kenna, for example, is a small example. It's not quite what I'm asking here, because it's not a first-party game, and it's also quite small. It's like, this is the first time that studio, Ember Labs, creates that game, and it's something that you can beat in a couple days. They've confirmed this multiple times. So I'm hoping Sony can either buy out that franchise and that developer, or create one of their own, where they're basically there's a lot of charm and just great art style, nothing with high quality graphics like realism or any of that. Something like a Nintendo game, like the Breath of the Wild Zelda game, or a Mario art style. I just love the way those games look and how they don't try to be super realistic. So I hope we can get something like that from Sony. For number three here, I wrote a AAA fantasy RPG, and it could be open world, but it doesn't have to be. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really interested in the fantasy and first-person shooter stuff that Xbox Game Studios kind of has going on for them, that they got upcoming. Now, we don't know when those games are coming, but I want Sony to sort of get inspired from that, because I really like fantasy games, and I hope that is something that Sony can explore. I really love the idea of a knight going to kill a dragon. I don't know if you guys seen that picture. I'll show you guys of the concept art that a Naughty Dog employee drew, and I really got excited, because the idea of Naughty Dog making a fantasy game of some kind, maybe an RPG, I would lose my shit, because regardless of how you feel about them in your own opinion, they're objectively one of the best studios in the gaming industry. So if they were to tackle a fantasy RPG, open world, whatever they made it, I think it'll be a really good game, and hopefully Sony does something like that in the future with fantasy, dragons, knights, whatever, all of that. By the way, shout out to Deep Down, that exclusive project between Capcom and Sony that has yet to come to fruition. Now on to number four, a sci-fi game. And I know this sounds like a Bethesda lineup here, but it's really not meant to be intentional. This is just things I like. And, if that happens to be kind of similar to what Bethesda does, then that's cool for Xbox people. I mean, I'll still probably play it on PC, but I think sci-fi games are just awesome. And I like the theme about, the same way I like fantasy, dragons, magic, all of that. I also like sci-fi and then, space and technology and all of that shit. I really like it, especially if it's like something that's like cool, like a Dead Space, I should say, franchise or something like that. I think Sony has the talent to do it. That's the thing. That's the reason why I'm making this, like PlayStation Studios wishlist, because they have talent, and Sony has sort of like made this reputation for themselves for making good quality and just making bangers one after the other. So I'm really hoping Sony can give it a chance to something like Dead Space, sci-fi, something cool like that, and here's to seeing something like that in the future. Now, for number 5, this is kind of a special one because it's not like a suggestion for project that I want them to do. It's sort of like kind of like a little nub for like of advice that, not that they would listen to me or that I have any experience, but I think that they should definitely keep doubling and organically growing the PlayStation Studios. That includes Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, and which, by the way, has been like getting a second team apparently, because aside from working on the next God of War Ragnarok, whatever, they're also working on some other project which they've been hiring for. So this has been happening. It already happened to Guerrilla Games. They have two games. They have Horizon and first person shooter games working simultaneously. Santa Monica, they got the God of War and other unannounced title that they also have job listing for. Naughty Dog is a kind of like weird one because I don't know if they have a second team. They might have like a smaller second team because they're working on that Factions multiplayer game from the Last of Us universe, which is gonna be kind of big because, you know, that's why it hasn't shipped yet. And they're also like already hiring for the next big project, which is something really cool that they said that they're working on. We don't know it yet, but those are the ones that I know of so far. But they're also making like a new developer from San Diego, which is like the visual arts team that usually helps with animation. They're now forming into like a game development studio as well, so that they're gonna be working on past franchises and stuff like that. So I hope really Sony continues to do stuff like that with their own studios, because clearly they can't like just keep buying studios left and right like Microsoft has. And I prefer this approach in the sense that Sony isn't going out there and claiming what's already popular as theirs. And that's one thing that I kind of like despise about like big companies. They want to grab everything that's good and popular that people like out there and claim it as if it's theirs, and take it away potentially from other fans who play on different platforms. So potentially PlayStation fans might not play any Bethesda games in the future, potentially. Probably not all of them, but some of them are definitely going to be left out from PlayStation fans. And I don't like that. I like when, you know, they buy smaller studios and make original like IPs and original games instead of stealing all the popular ones that are available to everyone. So yeah, I just really like that aspect of PlayStation Studios, and I really hope Sony can keep growing their studios. Sucker Punch could be like a potential one that also gets like a second team. Oh, I also forgot to mention Insomniac Games probably has 2 teams, because they have one working on Spider-Man 2, and they have another team working on the Ratchet and Clank game that's about to come out. So they also definitely have 2 teams, and they've been pumping a lot of games out. So good job for them. But anyways, that's like all I had to say. That was my small wish list for PlayStation Studios. Let me know if you guys, as a PlayStation fan, like this. If you guys have your own that you guys want to add. I didn't want to talk about acquisitions here for Sony because I thought that would like kind of beat the whole purpose. It's a PlayStation Studios thing. I think we should keep it on from what we have and see what we can do from that. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe for more contents like this, and comment anything you want, man. It really does help out the video, and I love interacting with you guys. So yeah, that's been it. Thank you guys so much, and peace. Crack it.